Now, for the millionth time, do you know why? If you employ someone and I ask her age, right, and she lies about it, you're responsible for her. Not me. She's doing what you're telling her to do, not what I told her to do. You understand? You're her boss. You're her dad or you're her boss. Either way, daddy said. Or boss said. Whatever you are to her, right? You can't tell her to break the law. Dumbass. Or Dumas. Stupid man acting worse than a donkey with no senses. Where in the Bible a man thought one was talking to him. Which men like you don't hear or read the Bible. You browse through it like it's not even worthy of reading it like a novel, right? Exactly. And the whole problem is the girl did not have a reason to knowingly lie to me when I went into the store that day until she turned it into something sexual with me, right? And acted like she could do it with me, right? In the bathroom, right? That can lock, right? That's called a private area in your nail salon, by the way. If you got a one bedroom, one little bathroom area, that's the problem for you, right? Other businesses, they have a stall, right? Or two bathrooms, one for the ladies, one for the men, right? You didn't. You had one for both, right? That's another problem for you, right? Now, when I'm talking hypothetical, though, I'm trying to let you out of your sin, right? Not me out of mine. I didn't know what I did wrong, right? Not even after I left the slum, right? Because you're also trying to cause me some form of amnesia, too, right? Which means you're interfering with my memory of it, which I'm a big guy, so I can take a punch. I can take a blow to the head. 2 already. Car wreck and 3-story fall. I guess, or didn't kill me. Sure had help from above, but you don't believe in the one that's above. You're following the one that's below, and I can't do nothing about that either. But tell you. You're not following the one above. That's all anyone can really try to do with you, right? If you're that far gone. And pretending you're not. Now, if I told you I dated a Filipino girl, right? And, Vietnamese and Asians and that particular location look similar, right? And you tell me the girl's name Michelle, right? And I know a Michelle. I had sex with a Michelle, right? And I'm supposed to know that's the girl you meant, right? How? You're leaving out one part of the equation that would tell me that, her real age, right? So, 2 strikes, right? I'm not out yet. Why? I asked her age, right? 3 strikes and I would have been out, right? That was a ball, right? The reason it's a ball, and not my 3rd strike is I did what I'm supposed to do as an adult trying to date adult women, right? See, I told you that. If you're employed her, right, and you're working her not as your daughter, but as an employee, that changes your relationship, sir. She's no longer your daughter, she's an employee, and like all employees, she has to play by the rules, right? One of those rules is not to lie, right? To your customers when giving them a nail job, nor normally are you supposed to go to the bathroom with them, right? Anyway, I know. Just because they asked, right? I know. And whatever's going on besides that, right? I know. And doing my nails too, right? And me not sure exactly what happened, but knowing something happened because of the loss of dumb, right? Trying to cover the real situation if the girl lied about it, right? Not because I lied, right? About my age. I told her straight up, I'm 53, right? She said she was 37, right? Now, when you are an employer, and she's your employee, she has to have the permission to work at 15, right? You can't work, you just got to get this an underage child at 15, right? You're bad about that. Real bad. That's why the sweatshop workers, even with Kathy Lee Gifford, got in trouble. Damn. And I shouldn't have to be telling you this either. This is in the news. I've heard of this crap. It's called sweatshop workers and child labor laws, right? And the thing is, it's not that the child can't work or do anything to make a little money on the side. What it is people take advantage of them when they're children. See. Like you're trying to pretend I did, right? Which I didn't, right? See, asking her age, this is where you got to realize it, right? Means I'm not trying to have sex with her thinking she's 15, right? But if you're telling her I won't sex with her at 15, and that's why she said she was 37, you confused her, right? But she also might have felt like I was the reason, right, she was coming out there to have sex with her. See? You're putting all that in her head, not me, I know. What's the difference mentally versus me mentally when I first went into your damn store, right? I'd never been in there before. See, what you're doing is prepping her, one, for working illegally in your store to tell me she's 37, right? Two, to go to the bathroom with me because a 37-year-old can't, but a 15-year-old can't, right? See, it's semantics then, right? Now, if we both went in the bathroom and we both had sex, both could get arrested for sex in the bathroom, right? You can't distinguish one from the other, right? If both committed the crime, and both the male and female, if they had sex in the bathroom, get arrested, right? You can't arrest me more than her or more than me, right? Like the woman caught in the act of adultery. You can't stone her without the man in Moses' law, right? Nor can you stone her if you're just an average day citizen in Rome and territory, right? And finally, you can't stone her unless she's your wife. If Jesus wasn't her husband, right? I told you all this before. You're not reading the Bible and reading it compared it to the old. Why Jesus didn't stone her either. There were legal reasons he couldn't. Not just forgiving her either, but he did, right? That too, right? Using the law to save her instead of condemn her, right? What you're doing is condemning your own daughter because she lied to me about her age, right? And went in the bathroom with me, and she wasn't supposed to sleep with me either. More than I knew I wasn't supposed to sleep with her. Now, what kind of crime, though, is having sex with someone in the bathroom anyway, even if it's in a public space, or the door can lock? What does that mean? It kind of changes things, you see what I mean? Now, one that's called a fantasy idea, and it's in movies a lot. I know it is. Even porn. And I'm 53, so you know I've seen some porn, right? Even in something about Mary, they did a spoof about the gay people having sex at rest stops. Though I don't know any details about that, if it's true or not, right? But I've heard of it too, you know what I mean? Right. Okay? Don't mean everybody does it either, right? But it is considered a fantasy, even if a husband and wife or male and female do it, right? Do you understand, right? So when I went in there with her, I'm thinking, oh, this is a 37-year-old. She's going along with the plan, right? I've been finally found someone, right? See, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like the other women, I'm thinking I got kind of a wild one, right? Who's kind of wanting to finally get with me, right? I don't do this with every girl. See, that's the point, too. Or I'll be losing more time, right? That I'm losing, right? But it's weird if I'm losing time at all, unless they're trying to seduce me too. And why is that legal somewhere else too and yet illegal? The same reason, right? You can't punish one without punishing the other, right? If you're gonna say we had sex in the bathroom, two people had sex in the bathroom, not one nor the other, right? Both did, like with the act of adultery. If she's married, she didn't say nothing. If she's single, she didn't say nothing. If I asked her, she got wet because she spilled some water. Is that an unreasonable question? No, but if she had sex with me in the bathroom because of it, right? That's different, right? And I should remember that too. It's not illegal if she went there voluntarily, right? See, there's another thin line you're not getting about what a misdemeanor is and a felony is, right? And the crime ideas of things, right? A misdemeanor is like, something less. Now, if you eat something bad or you wear clothing pertaining to a woman like RuPaul, and you were in Jewish society, they would banish you, right? You know what I mean, right? They wouldn't necessarily kill you like with having sex with the same sex or committing adultery, like the woman caught in the act of adultery, right? But fornication is also the act. There's two terms for it. The crime of doing it to your husband, to the husband, is adultery. The couple doing it are committing fornication, though, too, right? Unlawful carnal knowledge, or right? Now, the difference is, the Bible doesn't say a couple can't have premarital sex, right? Either you're not reading that part either if the girl's of age, right? Now, at 37, is that of age? Yeah. That's of age. 15 ain't, and I wasn't with nothing with it, right? If you relate, right. Which is why I asked her relation. But she didn't lie to me because I was wanting sex with a 15-year-old. She thought I did. So she said she was 37, huh? Right. Did I tell her that? No. I just met her that day, right? You told her that, right? That's where you're lying to her and me about what happened, right? And she knows what happened. I know what happened, right? I was there too, right? But you were either hiding somewhere upstairs, and I know if you got offices upstairs, right? And you couldn't get down there in time for us to go in the bathroom, but you sure as hell did when we came out, right? That's wrong too, right? Why is that wrong too, right? You purposely allowed the girl to take advantage of me and be her, right? Knowing I was 53 and she was 15. Two of you knew the real age and the whole story, right? One of us did not. And one out of 20 people wins if that's the first time I'm in the store, right? That's why I win even if your people take your side, right? They're your employees, they got to, right? They don't have a choice, they don't have a choice. And you're lying once I went to the store and left the store, right? You got to, right? Plus I came back 2 other times, right? And it's getting weirder each time, And then finally you banned me from the store. I know why. You have a problem with sex, period, right? Between men and women. You don't know what you can do or can't do. I do, right? It's called reading something and not just following people blindly, right? And ascertaining what it really says, right? See, when people tell you not to commit adultery, you line that up with any form of sex. You can't do that, or you're committing adultery with your own wife, right? And what's the point of getting married if you're doing it with your own wife, right? You forgive to be forgiven, Jesus said, because you don't know what you're doing ain't a sin, right? That's one reason you forgive, right? And if you don't know it's a sin, you condemn yourself and others when you condemn, right? Not just yourself. Even thinking about it condemns the very thought, right? Of it, right? If you condemn it, right? You can't even think of a woman adulterously who you're actually around to. Does that mean on YouTube or you're seeing these sexy chicks all over the place? Is that what it's talking about? No, otherwise we'll all be dead. You're condemning yourself because you're the one posting the image. That's why you're going to hell for it, not me. I'm forgiving it. No. I want to see the woman naked, idiot. I'm not going to condemn myself for that. That's defeating the purpose of the woman being naked anyway. I want to see her naked. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't, or you're lying that you don't want to see her naked. But you want to see naked man, right? Then you're going gay. And see, that's another problem. You're condemning yourself for being gay. Straight. Bye. Celibate even. By condemning something you're doing or something someone else is doing and you can do it too, you're condemning yourself, whether you do it or not, right? But by forgiving it, you're forgiving yourself, whether you do it or not, right? I don't try to sleep with every woman I ride into contact with. No one does, right? Are you insane, right? But trying to find the one means anyone could potentially be the one, right? You actually come in contact with that, right? Like the 17 I was already with, her and the Comcast girl. 2, things got weird with her too. And like I said, right? Once she's in the house, she's invited in, right? Now, if I did something crazy or not, I would also explain as we went along why I did it, right? Now, if she went alone, okay, yes, it was kind of for her safety maybe, but I also gave her the option in the way out, right? So she didn't have to black me out at the end either, right? She could have said no, right? That's another problem. Let your yes be yes and your no be no is what Jesus is talking about too. If you don't want to do something, be honest, and I would have put on my shorts, whatever happened there when I was about to anyway. But anyway, I'm not sure what happened, right? But it's 20 minutes later when I come to, and then she ain't even left the cul-de-sac yet. She had to go down and turn around, and by the time she's there, I'm back up, right? And I told her that too, and just like you, right? I told you the same thing. I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'm open to premarital sex, but I'm looking for marriage too. But right, the girl can be with me. I will marry her. I will marry her. See, that's another thing about what it's saying there, right? You got to be willing to marry the girl, right? Even under a rape condition, and she ain't betrothed, right? But I didn't rape her. Knowledgeably, she was 15. You and her, you were 15, right? And the whole store before I did. Do you see what you did? Not me. You. That's what entrapment is. You're withholding the third strike, right? And you're turning it into a ball, right? Which is 3 strikes you're out, not 2.5 or two strikes in the ball, right? See, the ball is the problem, right? You threw a ball, right? She lied about her age at 37, right? And I'm not a human radar or lie detector tester, right? Nor do I act like I can guess your age, like at the carny. at the carnival or the fair. Right? I don't pretend I even know an Asian girl's age, so there you go again, right? You're trying to set me up with an underage girl, which gets you in trouble. Not the 53-year-old man who's trying to wait for the right woman, and you're not listening to what all the Bible says, right? Even Paul talks about the girl becoming of age, right? And the boy. Both have to be of age to marry, right? And consent, right? That's why the engagement is for a year in Israel at the time, right? 2,000 years ago, right? That's to make sure the girl don't want to back out during that year, right? Though she's got to back out before the ceremony, but she can't have sex with another man either, then she can marry him, right? But then they got to wait another year too, I guess, right? But that's not in the Bible either. No, it's not. No, it's not. It don't say how long you got to get engaged before you marry. You can even elope, and the Bible will allow that. Mm-hmm. Even what's called common law marriage, right? Like the woman at the well, God would allow that. It's men who make crazy laws they don't intend to follow in the first place and then break them themselves. That's why it's called hypocrisy when men do it, right? I want to follow the law and not be with a 15-year-old or a girl under 16 in Georgia. That's legal, right? That's not my problem. My problem is I can't just look at a girl and tell her age, and I gotta ask her, right? Especially if she's working from some butt wipe who won't get that, right? And let her work anyway. Now, why didn't you think I was going to get my nails done when I've been getting my nails done around town, right? And I told you that too on YouTube, right? This is the same person you're talking to for 15 years on YouTube too, right? It's not a different person. Might look a little different at times. And times are different voices, of course. I don't know who that was, but it's kind of sounded funny. But that's what I do. And it's like Seth MacFarlane or, Mel Blates or whoever does voices, right? It's part of something I'm trying to do as a career. Dan Carvey, right? Eddie Murphy, right? I do black and white voices. We are if you be. That's from the Cats movie with the I forgot the real name, but right. It was about what's his name? Oliver Twist. Alright. But anyway, do you see what I mean? You can't make me commit a crime to murder me. Alright. By the way, either, right? Especially if I've been resurrected anyway. You get me? You cannot convince me I sinned in the Lord when I know I didn't sin in the Lord. Either. It's what Paul said. If you, by faith, are trying to find a wife and a man interferes with it, he's the one confused about the law of the Lord, not you, right? Because he's not reading it all. Davis was reading it like a jigsaw puzzle. Here is scripture, there is scripture. Everywhere is scripture, but not the whole thing, right? When you do that, you're not reading the Bible, you're reading a part of the Bible you like, but not the whole thing, right? And when you compile Bible studies instead of reading the whole thing, and that's all you teach your congregation, you're brainwashing them into that belief, right? Everybody who does it is, right? You're brainwashing the Christians into a false belief, right? You all are. See, the Christians also have to follow the laws of the land. That's why I'm telling you about the age of consent being 16 being legal, right? And why? If the girls of age to consent to sex or marriage, right? Like Paul said in chapter 7 of 1 Corinthians, and she does, right? Have premarital sex with a man, right? She's legally able to by that law, right? Mm-hmm. The man did not entice her, but told her the truth too, right? That's the difference between keeping the law and breaking the law. Now, if she told me she was 15, I wouldn't have been tempted, right? But since she didn't and said she was 37, hello, right? I believed her, went into the bathroom with her, had sex with her, we left, and then you told me she was 15. We did it 2 more times. But you're trying to black me out after. That don't work either. While I'm in there, I don't know. Even though you blacked me out too. And let her do it 2 more times. Be resurrected before you got back up to your office and didn't have to come back down and do it again and do it again and do it again, right? I know that too. I know that too. Well, I said if I wanted to get the women pregnant, right, I didn't. But if I did, right, God resurrected me 3 times to get them pregnant alone. I wouldn't even have to touch them. The only reason I was with her, she bent like a dream girl, and you took advantage of that, right? Mm-hmm. You can't do that with a mentally ill person who's asking the correct questions, right? To not do it. Are you that messed up? Yes, you are. But all I can do, like I told you again, is forgive you, right? Not change what you did, but forgive it and move on, right? But that's the point. You're acting weird towards me, and I don't know why. See? That's not me trying to do something wrong. That's you doing something wrong. And then trying to make me feel guilty because of what you did wrong. Don't work that way. Mm-hmm. If Jesus been resurrected, I've been had sex, dummy. Before marriage and after marriage, right? And that's what Jesus is showing me if he's saving me from you and you don't get it, right? You're being stubborn, right? I'm following the rules, you're not. Well, here's the point. If I seduce someone and they don't tell me their age till after, right? Who lied? The person who let you seduce them, right? Right. Now, we're all supposed to know not to have sex with an underage girl, but if you're mentally ill and you're, say, in a synagogue or something, they're not supposed to let you have sex with a 14-year-old and then tell her you're wrong, she's 14, right? Because you don't know that, right?
Controversy this week, Justice Clarence and Jenny Thomas.
Right. Your job is to ask. Sometimes the girl's age, but the girl is also supposed to tell you, okay, if you're an older man, right, that she's a virgin and ain't able to have sex with if she's underage, right? And she can't just let you have sex with her either, right? Now, what they're talking about is men who go after children, right? Too, right? They target them online. They pick little girls who are 13, 14, and 15 and pretend they're little boys. You can't even say I'm doing that, right? Right. That's where you're getting confused as well. Mm-hmm. These are grown men trying to have sex with virgins to have sex with a virgin. And pop her cherry. They're targeting her because they know she's a virgin they had sex with. And they're trying to talk her into sex with them, right? They still think they can have consensual sex with a child, which is where they're messing up. No, they can't, right? See, I know that. I don't mess with a child. If I find out you're 13, I'll quit talking to you in any sense, but as an adult to a child who's going to school, and I'll only talk to you as if I'm in school myself. So no, I will not bring up nothing sexual either, right? At all. Now, the thing is, can I date a 13-year-old? It depends on how you do it. You know what I mean? There's a difference between liking a 13-year-old, right, and trying to have sex with one, too. But, again, thin line there, right? Most people try not to mess with that once they find out the age, right? And let it go, right? And want an adult woman, virgin or not, like I said, right? Some people are obsessed with the idea of being with a virgin for the first time, right? Now, when they say porn, they're not virgins. They mean they're porn virgins. You'll never catch a real virgin popping her cherry online unless, again, her father's in the industry and he makes her do it or something. Right? And even then, she's got to be 18 or like Tracy Lord. You can't even use the footage but for pedophiles, and then you get in trouble for that, right? That's the reason, too. I know. Most girls, honestly, today are losing their virginity to their boyfriends, not their husbands, not their fiancés anymore. But you know that by now, right? But that's why I'm trying to remind you, sex is marriage. Babies come from sex without a piece of paper to tell you you're legally married and go down to courthouse or not. And part of that's what the church does for you, is they take care of that legal business there, right? And you're married by the church now, right? It's still separation of church and state, right? But still, the church can't stop gay people from marrying in their own church either, right? Now, here's the thing, though. If they don't believe in gay marriage, under the Constitution and freedom of speech and freedom of religion, they don't have to let you marry in their church. Sorry, they don't, right? There is enough information in the Bible to know Christians can't be against that, and say it's morally wrong in their opinion. They don't support that decision, right? But they can't harm you, right? Mm-hmm. They can't do you wrong, nor can you do them wrong. That's what too, right? You can't bomb their church, and they can't bomb yours, or go down to the gay club and shoot you up either, right? Neither one's supposed to bomb the other. You can't go down to a Jewish synagogue just because you don't like what they're preaching and blow them up, right? That's called hate. That's turned into hatred of the thing, right? And even Christians are told to love the sinners, not just the saints, right? And that the sinner needs Jesus just as much as the saint, right? Because the saint could fall too. Like Paul said, I got to walk daily, right, with the Lord, right? I'm not promised tomorrow either, right? The attitude is I'm trying to do the right thing moment by moment, but I am tempted by what I see around me, especially a beautiful girl. And I admit I'm tempted. That's why I go through the process. What's your name? How old are you? Can we date? I'm 53. I'm saying never leave. What's your name, right? That's how you meet somebody. Always been that way. Unless you're in an arranged marriage society. And then the couple's arranged by the parents. But you're in America now. Uh-oh. See, your religion can't bar you breaking the law either, right? The law of the state is greater than the law of religion. What you don't understand as well. Mm-hmm. The problem is, like with abortion, right? You're killing a child in the minds of some people, which is murder. Which is murder. I understand that too, but you're murdering the embryo in its womb. And not giving it a chance at life, which if you do not attempt to murder the child is still alive, right? And will grow 9 months. Now, if there is something wrong, medically speaking, they should be able to clear up that too. Now, come on, brother. You're not listening either. You're taking it too far the other way too, right? Mm-hmm. It's the point. Uncircumcised gun. I'm reading Saturday Night Live on NBC again. Now, the thing is, though, choice, right? A crime is committed when, right, the person knowingly sleeps with an underage girl, not when you trick him, right, to sleep with one. And you knew her age and she knew her age, but the person in question did not, right? That's legally to protect the mentally ill person, right? Who might not know the girl's real age, but you're lying to him about it to trick him into it. And you're not trying to call the police on me, right? Are you? No. You're trying to what? Permanently stop him from sleeping with anyone else. Right. You don't have the right to do that either, right? Consensual sex, guess what? That's a lot about the Bible too. As pointed out by the woman at the well again, right? Is there an example of a woman, sin or not sin, who in a Samaritan or Jewish community was married or having sex with a man she was married to? Yes. If it's in your Bible, you can do it too. You can do it too. And they're not supposed to judge you on it, but they do anyway, don't they? Nosy people. But that's what happened too, right? You're not minding your business and letting me find a wife. You're too busy setting me up with an underage girl. Because you think I want to sleep with underage girls. But I tell you I don't, right? I can't even tell you I don't want to sleep with them, right? Which means what? You done made up your mind no matter what I said. That's on you too, right? The person committing a crime must knowingly engage with the child to sleep with the child and not care that the child's 15. I wouldn't have done that, and you know that, right? I would have cared and stopped if I found out she was 15, right? But she didn't tell me she was 37 because of me. She did it because of you. She did it because of you. You made her think I wanted sex with her, baby, in a way. Either way, she was 59, 57. Right. Not me, not you. I don't know her until I went to the store. And whatever game you're both playing with it, not me, right? She knows me. She would recognize me as soon as I went to the store. She came right up to me. But again, I didn't know, right? This was a game y'all were playing as well. Mm-hmm. When I went into the store, I went in there for the first time ever. So I told you I'm going to different stores. That means you're arguing with her about doing the job or letting her do the job anyway, but again, not getting her documentation, but again, right. Mm-hmm. Telling her about me probably too, right. And then when I got to get in there, we do it. Then you try to kill me, and then, right. And I resurrect. Right. Why? I was wrong. You were wrong, and she was wrong. You're both wrong. It's both manipulation, right? It's manipulation all the way around, right? The girl's manipulating me. You're manipulating the girl. And I'm really the victim there, right? Because if I knew she was 15, I wouldn't have went nothing with her. I would be tempted too, right? That's the bottom line, because the law says so. The law of Georgia says a minor also cannot knowingly engage in an adult and lie about her age, right? It depends on the conditions on it, right? Can she work in a job where the legal system says she got to be 16 or be part of the apprenticeship program if under 15, right? 16, right? No. That's where we get into child labor laws, right? See, the legal part is she's not supposed to legally work at the store until she's 16 without that permission, right? And if she's 15, she's got to have the apprenticeship program, right? In Georgia. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I wasn't knowing that part, right? But I'm telling you that part too, right? If she's 15, she's got to have certain special qualifications to work that job, right? And you got to get her those qualifications or you can't work in that job, right? It's a crime to work an underage girl in any store she cannot legally work in until she's of age, right? To work that job, right? It's a different kind of crime. It can be a felony or a misdemeanor too, depending on how many you're working, by the way. And you, again, cannot work an underage girl in a sex or massage parlor. Either. Not that you know that either. A girl who works there has to be how old? 18 and older. Same with Uncle Harry's or whatever, right? The strip places around here, right? And there are a few of those. Why can I legally do that? It is the point, though, to do the stripper, right? If you can do it, get away with it, dude. If you know what I mean, all right? But if you do it and you get away with it, and you just pay her the money for the, lap dance, right? That's the legal part. You just don't pay her for the sex. Just saying it that way. That's different too, right? It depends, right? On where you actually do it, right? Like if I talk a stripper to go into the bathroom with me to do a lap dance because I'm disabled, and she does or something, and we do something in the bathroom, right? She consented to that, right? But I don't call doing that either, right? Usually we do it in the back with either the $150 job or the $30 job, and usually you don't really even pull it out, right? She's doing all the bumping and grinding. You can touch where she lets you touch her, but you can't have sex, right? That's all the strip clubs, right? Now, yes, technically all you have to do is find a way to do that, but I'm usually dressed in shorts, or you think I can pull it out and whip it out without being in a bathroom or a private area? No. That's the point too, right? You also know I gotta go to the bathroom to have sex with someone. I can't just do it in the front of everybody in the restaurant now. You hear? That means I'm not trying to break the law, but I got confused because the girl offered me something I couldn't deny, wasn't it? And been missing for a while. Right. And I just mean girl in general, not girl in, as in girlfriend or woman friend or lady friend, right? Again, when you're a child, you call girls, and even when they become adults, you still call a woman friend your girlfriend, right? But see, I'm already mentally ill. I hear voices. You can't change that. Whether it's spirits, whether it's God, whether it's something religious or not, right? And I didn't hear them until a certain time in the military. Medically speaking, you could call it schizophrenia, right? But religiously speaking, it might be something different, right? And that's opinions between people, both religious and non-religious. Even psychic mediums claim to hear something speaking to them or communicate with them from beyond, right? Right? Even if it's a parlor trick or not, right? They're at least pretending to, right? But if I really am, it's like when I got my book today. Now, I got a book on methods and learning musical theory, right? Versus, right? And learning how to write a song. And I'm trying to figure something out here, right? Now, I went into the store and bought a few things. I bought a ukulele chart to learn how to play chords on the ukulele, right? I got a couple of sticks, like, for percussions again. Like these right here. Which they're more to make sound, right? I mean, come on, right? And I got a book on musical theory, right? What that does is it teaches me about how to use written music to write a song, right? Now, the written part of the song, right, includes chords and the notes, right? Well, that's the part I didn't learn growing up at all. How to play chords with the notes to create a song. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, right? Again, right? So that's the whole point of what I'm doing there. But they had a method by Alfred something, and they had 3 books, part 1, 2, and 3, but then they had a complete book, right? Well, I'm kind of sitting there trying to figure out which book I want to buy, and I'm looking through the sections, right? And then I come across the complete book in the middle section, right? Now, did I know it was there? Not really, but was I guided to it? Was looking around and figured out that was the book I needed to buy? Yeah. And what's the difference, right? Well, they sell the book separately or as one whole course. But guess what? The price is the same. The same, right? It's $15.99, right? So if you buy the whole course for $15.99 versus the other 3 books for $15.99, you just saved $30 or $31 or $32, whatever, you know what I mean, right? Plus tax. Now, I didn't know this, right? Going in there, right? right. And I went in there the other day, but I bought something different. I bought a songbook and a dictionary, right? But see, if you teach something, I told you, you gotta keep yourself fresh in the basics, right? So even with karate, you gotta know the karate chop. If you want to do the karate chop, you gotta know the punch, vertical or horizontal, right? And how to do the punch, right? Now, horizontal or vertical, each punch is for a different effect to the body, right? If you do a knuckle punch, you're targeting a specific area, or using 2 fingers, or even 1, right? Now then there's a ridge hand, which can also be a clothesline, right? If you do it the right way. I don't know. But if you look at wrestling and martial arts and throwing, and right, the throwing martial arts, which is judo, jiu-jitsu, and aikido, right, and wrestling, right, they don't really have a lot of punching in those sports, right? But then karate and, right, entertainment wrestling, by the way, right, and things like that do. Right. And that's, again, a different thing to learn, right? Each martial art, so, teaches you how to fight slightly different. Like, in Kenpo and karate, right, there are different types of lessons. Japanese, so, Taekwondo, right, and karate have the same kicks, pretty much, right? And punches, pretty much, right? And stretching, and, right? They both have similar forms or katas, right? They both try to get you to achieve greater heights and kicks and stuff like that, too, in case you got a fighter, higher or taller opponent, right? Things like that, too, right? Right. They also teach you how to harness your chi or ki to defend yourself, right? And different, countries call it by different names, but it's your spirit within you to attack a person at a specific point. However you do it, palm heel, right? But palm heel, knife hand, right? Uppercuts are all punches variations, right? But you basically punch, chop, or palm heel, right? Or tiger claw, right? Which is based on the palm heel, right? Of the tiger. Now the problem is, when you lie to me, right? And I'm not trying to break the rules, but you're confused about the rules differently, but trying to punish me for a reason, right? You're not allowed to do that either. Because then you got the wrong idea, right? That you can just murder someone over an innocent mistake they want to make, right? Can't do that either. And get over it. Because I'm trying to move on from it too, right?